Hey guys, today I'm gonna show you how to make the best breakfast casserole. This is one loaded breakfast casserole filled with eggs, sweet potato, crispy bacon, breakfast sausage, green bell pepper, onion, garlic, and the perfect amount of seasoning. And while I do add a smidge of cheese in today's recipe, you can make it completely dairy-free. This breakfast casserole makes for a delicious weekend breakfast. It's ideal for meal prep, and it's perfect for special occasions and holidays like Christmas, which is right around the corner, because you can make it ahead of time and feed the entire family. So let me show you how to make it. To get started, preheat your oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. There are a few items that you'll pre-cook in the oven before assembling the casserole, and that includes bacon and sweet potato. I'm sure many of you know by now that my preferred method for evenly crispy bacon is to cook it in the oven. All you have to do is lay 8 ounces of bacon flat on a baking sheet. And if you'd like, you could also place the bacon on top of parchment paper, but it's not required. And once that's done, just set the bacon aside. Along with the bacon, you'll place another tray in the oven, and that's for roasted sweet potatoes. Other recipes online will use store-bought frozen hash browns in their breakfast casserole, but we're keeping things fresh and swapping the white potato with sweet potato. Just peel, slice, and dice 1 pound of sweet potato into small 1/2-inch cubes. I find it's easiest to just stack a few slices on top of each other and then dice them up. And once that's done, place those cubes on the baking sheet. Drizzle the sweet potato with a little bit of olive oil and then add the seasoning, which includes a 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of paprika, a 1/4 teaspoon of cumin, and some salt and pepper. Use your hands to toss all of that together so that the sweet potato cubes are fully coated in a little bit of oil and seasoning, and then lay them out in a single flat layer. You can cook both of these items in your oven at the same time. The bacon will cook faster. It usually takes about 18 to 20 minutes, and the sweet potato usually takes about 35 minutes. Now, as every oven cooks differently, do keep an eye on your bacon so you don't burn it, but I know in my oven it's perfect after 20 minutes. While the bacon and sweet potato are cooking, you can prep the other veggies. Just de-seed, slice, and dice 1 green bell pepper. You could really use any color bell pepper here, it's up to you, but I think the bright green is a nice contrast to the orange sweet potato. And once that's all diced up, just add it to a bowl. Next, you'll slice and dice 1/2 of a medium to large onion. If you have a smaller onion, you could use the whole thing, especially if you love onion as much as I do. And for those who gave tips for not crying while slicing onions on a previous video, thank you so much for that. I'm going to try them all one by one until I have no more tears. But when you're done dicing up this onion, just place it in a bowl and then transfer those items over to the stove. At this point, my timer for the bacon just went off, so I'll remove the bacon from the oven and then just give the sweet potato a quick toss to stir it all up. The bacon should be perfectly golden and crispy. If it's not, you can always cook it a few minutes longer. And use tongs to remove the bacon to a paper towel to cool and drain. The hardest part about making this recipe is honestly not sneaking a few slices of the bacon and shoving them in your mouth, but do try to keep most of the bacon for the breakfast casserole. Continue cooking the sweet potato for another 15 minutes in the oven, and while that's happening, you can cook 1 pound of breakfast sausage on the stove. Feel free to use either sweet or spicy breakfast sausage, it's up to you. Just add that to a pan on medium-high heat and use a spatula to break it up. Cook the sausage until it's browned and no longer pink, and then use a slotted spoon to remove the cooked breakfast sausage to a 9 by 13-inch casserole dish. Once that's done, drain off any excess grease, leaving about a tablespoon or 2 in the pan in order to saute the veggies. So add the bell pepper and onion and cook them for about 4 to 5 minutes, or until they're softened and the onion has become translucent. Add 2 minced garlic cloves, stir it for another minute, and then transfer these veggies to your casserole pan with the breakfast sausage. All this multitasking really makes this recipe a breeze, because right about now the sweet potato should be fully cooked and ready to come out of the oven. And you can immediately pour the roasted sweet potato cubes into the casserole pan with the other ingredients. Now don't think I've forgotten the bacon either. At this point, it should be cooled, making it nice and crispy so you can crumble or slice the bacon and add it to the pan. As a pro tip, I'll usually reserve 2 pieces of bacon and add to the very top after I've poured the eggs in, just for presentation purposes, but you don't have to do that. You can add all of the bacon now if you'd like. And then season with any additional salt and pepper. All right, it's time for the eggs. You'll need 12 large eggs and just crack those into a mixing bowl. I love to use this batter bowl, which is essentially just a very large 8-cup measuring bowl because it has a pour spout and makes pouring liquids easy. I actually use it for a lot of recipes in the kitchen, from pancake batter to cake batter and large batches of scrambled eggs, and I will link it below for you. To the eggs, add a 1/3 cup of milk, and you can use dairy or dairy-free, then whisk it all together. The goal here is to stir and mix, but not add a ton of air bubbles, so don't whisk too vigorously. Give all of the ingredients in the casserole pan a stir to mix the flavors together, and then pour the egg mixture on top. At this point, I'll add bits of those 2 bacon slices that I reserved, just as it makes it pretty on top. And if you'd like, you can add a little bit of cheese. You could have actually stirred some cheese in with the sausage and veggies before pouring the egg mixture, or you can simply add it on top like I do. Cook the breakfast casserole in your 400° Fahrenheit oven for about 25 to 30 minutes. When it's done, the side should be more golden and slightly pulling away from the pan edges, and the middle should be fully cooked. You can always test to make sure the middle is fully cooked with a toothpick, as you don't want it liquidy at all in the middle. Before serving, you can add a sprinkle of sliced green onion for a fresh pop of green, and then slice the breakfast casserole into 12 portions. The great thing about this recipe is that it's perfectly seasoned with the spices on the roasted sweet potato and sausage. It smells exactly how breakfast should smell thanks to the bacon, and is filled with savory goodness from the onion, bell pepper, and garlic. This truly is an all-in-one breakfast that will keep you full and get your morning off to a roaring start. It's definitely one of my favorite recipes, really for any meal of the day, and as I mentioned at the beginning, it's perfect for meal prep. So even if you're one person, absolutely still make this recipe. Just place any leftover pieces in a glass storage container with parchment paper in between, and then place it in the freezer. It will keep for months, and you can just reheat individual pieces when the craving strikes. I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe, and if you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up, share it with your family and friends, and I will see you again in the next video.